Welcome to Lead Notes Pro. In today's section, we'll be dealing 7th semester Calcutta University. Okay, so we have already done a 6th semester. Now we'll be doing a 7th semester. So 7th semester will be imparting knowledge about Indian. So 7th semester will be imparting knowledge about Indian writing in English. So we have seen Indian writing in English in 6th semester. So it is in continuation. So it is continuing in 7th semester too. So what we are getting? We are getting Munshi Premchand's Shroud, most important. Okay, then Ismat Chaktal, the quilt. Then Fakir Mohan Senapati Rebati. Okay, let me say a little bit regarding Munshi Premchand. Premchand is one of the most famous Indian author, isn't? And you must be knowing that he has written in Hindi language. Okay. And he was present from 1880 maybe till 1936. I'm not sure about the dates, although I am always sure regarding this. It may be fallen somewhere around 1880 to 1936. He had written so many texts. One is most famous. This one is a short story, Shout. Here what we get, do you know? In Shout we get a story where a woman is dying. Okay, this family consists of 3 members. Okay, 3 members are available and they are very poor. Okay, one woman present and that's a daughter-in-law. Okay, and the other 2 members are father-in-law and that woman's husband. Okay, husband, father-in-law and the daughter-in-law. There's 3 members are present in the family. When the story starts, this woman, the daughter-in-law is dying, and this father and husband is eating outside, and there's question comes that where that person's morality ethics are, because someone is dying inside of home and they're eating, but their question comes that what they can do. They can't even save that woman because they have no money, they are so poor. And again question comes, if they can't help, still they can go there and do support. But their question comes that the Premchand was trying to put the whole question of morality, ethics in a kind of a question mark, because he was trying to see that what the scene is. Because you see that once a woman died, everybody came to help them in maintaining that after death rituals. Okay, like be it buying shroud and everything. But when that woman was dying, none of the villagers came. So the question came that what was necessary? The shroud was necessary, and to show respect after death was necessary, or the necessity was much more before to help her when she was dying, but none came while she was dying. So that's the question Premchand was trying to put. Premchand is most famous for putting such questions in forefront through her writings. Okay, this is what Premchand did through her writing. That's one thing. Where Ismat Chakdal, the quilt, is another most famous. You are seeing shroud and quilt. Okay, names are telling so many things. Then Fakir Mohan Senapati Rabati, that will be doing. Then poetry section, Rabindranath Tagore, light on where is the light. Okay, it's taken from Gitanjali. Okay, Gitanjali had English version of Gitanjali, Songs of Offering, had 153 poems, and that's one of this. That's light on where is the light. Okay, and the original Gitanjali had 157 poems. Okay, these are very small information which I tell through my videos, through my classes, but these are very important. If you can note it down and if you can remember this thing, you do not know how much it will help. Then there are like and when my plea was with thee. Okay, that's even taken from Gitanjali. Then there's GM Muktibodh, the void. Then Amrita Pritam, I say unto Orisha. Okay, Amrita Pritam is the most famous. Okay, I see unto Orisha. This is what I'll deal in detail. Novel Rabindranath Tagore, the Home and the World. Home and the World is written by Rabindranath Tagore, you all know. It's one of the most famous novel by Rabindranath Tagore, along with other things like Gora. Then there's like Chokher Bali, written by Rabindranath Tagore. Along with this, Home and the World is most important in Bengali, Ghore Baire. Okay, that is the novel dealing with the family issue along with the nation. Okay, at the time of this pre-independence time, what the situation was when British were ruling, was the struggle or the kind of like crisis was present only from national perspective, or it was present in the family perspective too. That is in the forefront. Home and the world both is dealt in that novel. Okay, then Vijay Tendulkar Silence the Court is in season. Okay, it's a play, it's a very famous play. Here the direct reference to play has been given. Okay, play within a kind of a thing. This is present. Vijay Tendulkar is one of the most famous playwright, along with other two, Girish Karnad and Badal Shankar. Badal Shankar from Bengali, Vijay Tendulkar from Hindi, Girish Karnad from Kannada. Okay, these are modern playwrights, very important. Okay, then we are supposed to know literary theory. Literary theory was present in earlier semester too. Here we are getting a TSC literation in individual. Earlier we got what? Lyrical ballads, biographical literature, defense of poetry, Aristotle poetics. We got this. But here we are getting what? Here we are getting TSC literation in individual. Then Walter Peter conclusion to studies in the history of the Renaissance. Then Terry Galton literature and history we are getting. Then Virginia Woolf's modern fiction. So I must say this all are modern texts. We had traditional individual channel published in 1920, roughly 1990 in that collection. Like 1920 published in Sacred Wood. Okay, and 1990 published in which collection and which magazine? You are supposed to write it in comment section. Okay, then Walter Peter conclusion to studies in the history of the Renaissance. T.D. Galton literature and history all are modern. Virginia Woolf modern fiction is most famous. You are supposed to read it too, published in 1990. Then I think we are not done yet. We have another section named as European classical literature. You are supposed to know European classical literature. What are these? Homer, Iliad, Sophocles, Oedipus the king, Ovid the Odyssey of Virtues, and then Plato the pot of gold. So I must say Homer the Iliad is epic. Sophocles, Oedipus the king is tragedy. Then you got other two texts. These are comedies. Metamorphosis is like a kind of a narrative, long narrative poem. Okay, so this is what epic can be said, but there's little bit of difference here. Homer, Iliad, you know that Homer had written two famous epics, Iliad and Odyssey. So we are knowing that whole story, that why this two all the related story, Iliad and Odyssey, but two different name. Then what covering? Iliad is covering till what the story of the main, like this are about Trojan Wars. Okay, so Iliad written on one part of Trojan War and Odyssey is another. Okay, so then Sophocles, Oedipus the king is the tragedy. Sophocles is quite of a trilogy by Sophocles. Oedipus the king, Oedipus, Colonus and Antigone. Okay, write down. Then Ovid Metamorphosis, AC is a very important. Plato called it's a comedy. Okay, then we are Horace Satires. Horace is most famous satirist, along with another name which you are supposed to write in the comment section. Okay, I would give you a hint. The name starts with the J. Okay, letter, English letter J. Another satirist. Okay, most famous. Then women writing, you have Emily Dickinson, I Cannot Live With You. Elizabeth Barrett-Burney, How Do I Love Thee? Ines D'Souza, Advice to Women. Then Emily Bronte, Wuthering Heights. Mahashata Devi, Draupadi. Karthi Chakraborty Sibang, then Catherine Mansfield, Base. Non-fiction, Mary Wollstonecraft, Vindication of the Rights of Women. Then chapters 1 to then Rasa Sundari Devi, Amar Jibon. Okay, if it is done, no, that's not. I must say little bit regarding this. Poetry, Emily Dickinson is one of the most famous modern poet. So that's you are supposed to read I Cannot Live With You. Although I say you are supposed to read another one which is not mentioned in your in your syllabus is I have finished that. Okay, then Elizabeth Barrett-Burney, How Do I Love Thee is most famous poetry written by Elizabeth Barrett-Burney. Ines D'Souza, Advice to Women is again most important famous poem. Then Emily Bronte, Wuthering Heights is a novel, and other earlier time it used to be Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte, which is to be given to you, but Wuthering Heights is most famous and the best writing. You should be reading from the novel section. Okay, then the Mahashata Devi Draupadi is a short story. Non-fiction mediates to conviction on the rise. So many is a feminist text. It can be said as like a pro-feminist. Okay, like it has created a thing that time even feminism wasn't anywhere that hadn't seen in the beginning. It was something which had created a zone that females should start knowing that what the situation was, how that situation was. There are a kind of a brief kind of a info you get to know what are the like how the situation was, how that kind of like discriminations were going on, or where women were supposed to be equally responsible for. Yeah, so many things she has written, and she had given chapters names are telling about the whole text. Even I will deal with this. Then Rasushundari Devi Amar Jibon, one of the most beautiful text you get by an Indian female author is that Amar Jibon. There is she a woman who was not even educated in her like most of the life, but she had how herself learned how to study. Even when she had so many restrictions, she was being married of early at an early age, how she managed to study and how she learned, okay, with difficulty, and how she wrote for the first time a letter to her son, and she read her son's reply, and how much happiness she felt because she learned by her own self. Okay, in spite of having all the restriction, all the limitations, she had learned, and she had depicted very nicely. Her bhakti has been depicted, how much she has faith on the Almighty, and how she said that her journey to literacy never could have been successful if she weren't being helped by that faith of hers, and as well as her own attempt, okay, to learn. The non-fiction medieval stone card, as I told, Rasushundari Devi. Then post-colonial literature, poetry, yeah, they were Pablo Neruda, Tonight I Can Write. This is most famous written by Pablo Neruda. Then there's Derek Walcott. There's Derek Walcott, Farkai for Africa, David Muller, River Days, Manangda, The Voice of the Mountain. Okay, Chinu Achebe Things for a bit. Then I think we're done. I just say Pablo Neruda, Tonight I Can Write is a poetry. You are supposed to. Derek Walcott, Farkai for Africa is a poetry again. So we'll deal with this too. Then David Muller, Revolving Days, that's important. Manangda, Voice of the Mountain. Manangda is an Indian author. Okay, Arunachal Pradesh. She belongs to Arunachal Pradesh. So you are supposed to read her poetry. Then Chinu Achebe, Things Fall Apart. He is an African author, African novelist. Things Fall Apart, we are supposed to build a introduction, and this way our syllabus of 7 semester is ending, and there what we have seen. Let's relook quickly. Where in the first section we had seen what? Do you remember? I always ask. Okay, I take a pause to know you remember. Okay, Indian writing in English we had done, and then literary theory we had done, then we had done Indian classical literature. Okay, and then we were done with women writing, and then post-colonial literature. Okay, so this way our 7 semester syllabus discussion ended. Those who are new to channel, subscribe it, and if you have any queries, you are always free to ask. Okay, I always encourage these queries. Okay, and thank you, share it.